revitalizing your soul through the inspired word of Ellen G. White, inspired by God. This is your daily manna coming to you from Eden's Nutritious Streets. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. For January 16th, 2025. This reading is coming to you from Healthful Living by Ellen G. White, Chapter 12. The Influence of Disease upon the Mind and the Morals. Mental depression. A diseased body affects the brain. With the mind we serve the Lord. All should guard the senses, lest Satan gain victory over them, for these are the avenues to the soul. The brain nerves, which communicate to the entire system, are the only medium through which heaven can communicate to man and affect his inmost life. Whatever disturbs the circulation of the electric currents in the nervous system lessens the strength of the vital powers, and the result is a deadening of the sensibilities of the mind. Moral insensibility. In consequence of the brains being congested, its nerves lose their helpful action and take on morbid conditions, making it almost impossible to arouse the moral sensibilities. It should be ever kept prominent that the great object to be attained through this channel is not only health, but perfection and the spirit of holiness, which cannot be attained with diseased bodies and minds. Mental and moral powers is dependent upon the physical health. Physical and moral health are closely united. God misrepresented. The children of God cannot glorify Him with sickly bodies or dwarfed minds. Those who indulge in any species of intemperance, either in eating or drinking, waste their physical energies and weaken moral power. Those whose moral faculties are beclouded by disease are not the ones rightly to represent the Christian life, to show forth the joys of salvation or the beauties of holiness. They are too often in the fire of fanaticism, or the water of cold indifference, or stolid gloom. While men and women professing godliness are diseased from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet, while their physical, mental, and moral energies are enfeebled through gratification of depraved appetite and excessive labor, how can they weigh the evidence of truth and comprehend the requirements of God? If their moral and intellectual faculties are beclouded, they cannot appreciate the value of the atonement or the exalted character of the work of God, nor delight in the study of His Word. How can a nervous dyspeptic be ready always to give an answer to every man that asketh him for a reason of the hope that is in him, with meekness or fear? Perfection and the spirit of holiness cannot be attained with diseased bodies and mind. The consciousness of right doing is the best medicine for diseased bodies and mind. He who is at peace with God has secured the most important requisite of health. The blessing of the Lord is life to the receiver. The assurance that the eye of the Lord is upon us and His ear open to our prayer is a nerve-failing source of satisfaction. To know that we have an all-wise friend to whom we can confide all the secrets of the soul is a privilege which words can never express. In order to preserve health, temperance in all things is necessary. Temperance in labor, temperance in eating and drinking. Because of intemperance, a great amount of misery has been brought upon the human family. The body which God calls His temple should be preserved in as healthy a condition as possible. Many act as though they have a right to treat their own bodies as they please. They do not realize that God has claims upon them. They are required to glorify Him in their bodies and spirit, which are His. While they give themselves up to the gratification of unhealthy appetites and thus bring disease upon themselves, they cannot render to God acceptable service. None should remain in ignorance of God's claim. All His promises are on conditions of obedience. I therefore beseech you to be hearers as well as doers of the Word of God and the inspirational pen of Ellen G. White. Be sure to listen tomorrow for another Daily Manna coming to you from Eden's Nutritious Street. Thank you for listening. That thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper.